it's Berta.
And I'm Lisa.
And welcome to 2 Takes Later, the podcast where two nostalgic millennials deep dive into your favorite shows, movies, and all things pop culture.
Because we're on a mission to rehash our old favorites, obsess over new discoveries, and basically never shut up about how they made us feel.
We're talking the scenes that made us ugly cry, the ones that had us throwing popcorn at the TV, and the moments we still can't get over.
So grab your snacks, grab your feelings, and get ready for a whole lot of opinions you didn't ask for, but are definitely gonna love.
2 Takes Later, because one take just isn't enough.
New episodes every week. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hey, Berta.
Hey, Lisa.
How are you?
I'm great.
We're back with a new episode.
We are. That we are.
Yeah, season 1.
Episode 6.
A Golden Crown. This is definitely one of my favorite.
Me too.
There's just such a great scene in this.
There's movement.
Yeah.
The plot moves forward. There's characters changing. There's a lot going on.
And the Golden Crown.
Everything's moving on our game board.
It is.
Everything's moving on the Game of Thrones game board.
I wish we had a game board that we could just play with. We should find out.
I'm sure they make it.
Before we dive in, I have to give an update. So, some of our viewers let me know that it was a prosthetic penis that Tion had. So I just wanted to make sure everyone knows. We did get the answer. Thank you, everyone. Yeah. So,
I have been waiting.
Yeah, right? It's been a week.
Yes.
And you've been anxiety.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. No, it's fake.
Okay. Well, I mean, I kind of figured because it's HBO.
I don't know. I guess. Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway.
But we know, yeah.
Now we know for sure.
And we've got some more updates too about some other things that other prosthetics, I guess, in this episode. So we'll get to it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've got some.
Okay, I'm ready.
I've got some trivia.
Well, then let's jump in.
All right.
Okay.
So we're at. It opens with Ned healing up from his injury. So he was, if you remember correctly, he was stabbed through the leg.
What the heck?
By Jaime. And Jaime wasn't too happy about it. And so, yeah, he was, he's healing up from his injury. He's sweaty. Everybody.
I swear to God, everybody is sweaty in every episode.
Sweaty. And, anytime anyone gets anything going on, they're always, they're always sweaty. Yeah. And, they look clammy.
Yeah, clammy. That's a good term for it.
Yeah,
they definitely look clammy. He wakes up. He doesn't know what's going on.
No, and then it's sort of like that. It's the opposite of that scene in Lord of the Rings where Frodo wakes up and everyone's smiling.
That's true.
Everyone's like, Frodo.
Yeah.
This one, everyone's like, what did you do?
Exactly. And honestly, Bobby B's like, I don't understand why you did this. I don't really care. It doesn't even affect me, except that my pain in the ass wife is angry because you kidnapped her brother.
Yes, he. There's a kind of a good. It's a good scene where she's like, I'm mad, and Bobby B smacks her
right across.
And she's
face.
like, I'll wear that with honor, and he goes, wear it with silence, or I'll honor you again.
Yeah, wear it with silence, or I'll honor you again. And I laughed. I was like, that's
I mean,
good.
It's a pretty badass line.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean,
really
I'm certainly not a fan of abuse, but bitch, shut up. Oh my God. I can't stand her.
It's definitely, I think that we don't really like Cersei that much. Obviously, we don't like that she that she got smacked. That's never okay.
Right.
But
right.
We also don't like Cersei. She's definitely being... those two things can be true.
Yes, that's true. Good point. Good point.
And then what's so Ned? I do think I want to point out one thing here. Ned's like, what is going? Why are you letting them call the shots here? Why are you letting the Lannisters call the shots here? And he's like, I'm in debt, Ned.
Yeah,
and I got gambling debts.
Well, it's not gambling debts. It's just because he's the Lannisters supported him.
Yeah.
But, oh my God, come on.
Well, I like that he is... So this is where you see why the Lannisters have so much pull they've positioned themselves to have a lot of power over all these other families.
Well, even, I don't know if it's in this episode, maybe a future episode, but I recall that it wasn't Cersei. Peter said that the people who win wars aren't the army, it's the money. The people who have money are the ones who win the war.
Yeah.
And that's like, that's how we got here in the first place.
Yeah.
Greed. It's all about greed.
Yeah. I mean, it's again, George modeled a lot of this off of real history, and there's definitely a lot of cases throughout history where it wasn't necessarily like the good guys. It was people who were in the right position at the right time, who had enough money, who were backed by by this or that. It's interesting. Yeah. This is where you see why the Lannisters are where they're at. They're very strategically placed, and they give their money strategically. Yeah. Yeah.
And so Bobby B's like, make peace with Jaime.
Yeah. Figure it out.
Get Tyrion back.
And he's like, I'm going to go hunt.
Yeah. I feel like killing things. Killing things clears my head. I mean.
Oh, Bobby B.
Right? You weirdo.
You scamp.
He's funny. And then of course he throws the badge, like the king's hand pin, back at Ned. And he's like, put this back on.
Ned's like, can I go?
Right. He just wants to go home. As he should.
Go home.
Like, oh my gosh. Yeah. There's just
Bobby's
so much.
Like, no, you're not going home.
And honest to God, like, I realize there are so many different places in this show, and there are so many different people groups. However, the entire show is like based on the Starks and Lannisters and their butting heads.
I would say that, yeah, definitely in like Westeros, or where is it? I guess now I'm forgetting, like, so is Westeros the world?
Yes, Westeros is the world.
In Westeros, that is, I feel like, the biggest like clash of families. Mm-hmm. Like that's where most of the drama, at least in this first season, that's where like a lot of the drama is. Well, even like you think about the Targaryens and how they were in power and how they're trying to get back into power, and it's like, okay, but still we just have this conflict between the Starks and the Lannisters. Well, and we care about them, even the Lannisters, even if we don't like all of them, right, they're fun to watch. Oh, they sure are. We like Tyrion, we want to know what's going on we like where his story is going. Mm-hmm. That's interesting. We want to see him be okay. Yeah. And we really care about the Starks. They're the good guys. They are the good guys. They have so much honor and too much. I know. Yes. So now, all right, now where are we at? We're in Dothrak. Dany's just in that tent holding the egg, right. And she goes over and she puts it in the fire, in the embers, and she waits, and then she picks it up. And one of the maids comes in, I don't know which one, comes in and grabs the egg out of her hand. She's like, Khaleesi! And the girl gets burned. No, Khaleesi, let me pick up the egg. Right? Yeah. And Khaleesi is not burned. She should have been. Little foreshadowing here. Dun, dun, dun. But she wasn't. Yeah. She wasn't. And so, a real dragon cannot be hurt by fire. Right. This is where, we're getting some breadcrumbs. Yeah. Yeah, follow the breadcrumbs because the trail is happening. And we're going to have some resolution in this episode. Yeah, yes. All right. And then where do we go? There's, again, a lot of jumping back and forth. Yes. So we're back to the dreaming about the raven. Yes, yeah. I feel like what's fun about Bran's story right now isn't necessarily that it's that fun. But for the next, 3 seasons, what's fun about it is the potential. So we don't know where it's going. Yeah. But it's not like, I care about it. I found myself really invested in this storyline whenever it was coming out. But I was only interested in it because I was in the same way that I was interested in Lost whenever that was coming out. I loved Lost. That had so much potential. Yeah. That had so many cool things going on. Mm-hmm. But what's fun about, sometimes what's the most fun part about things is the potential. Yes. And that's where I feel like this is why I liked Bran's storyline. Well, and you're hoping. Something's got to be big with him because we wouldn't be paying so much attention. Right. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. We'll see how that plays out. Right. Hodor comes in.
shows him the saddle.
Yes.
So Tyrion's designed saddle is now ready for Bran.
And he's like, aha,
Giggling,
I'm on a horse.
Right? Making so much noise. Like trotting around, circle, circle, circle.
Yeah.
And then, and Rob and Theon are going at it because Theon, again, forgets his place. And he's like, you need to go after the Lannisters.
So I actually feel really bad for Theon here. And I'm like, dude, Theon is trying, okay? He has lived with you guys since he was a child.
Right.
And you guys are still kind of being like, so what does he say? So he's talking to Rob, and Rob says something like, well, you're not.
This isn't your place.
This isn't your this isn't your place, or something like that. This isn't your house, he says, right?
Right.
And Theon's like, okay, well, I'm just trying to help you, man. And then he gets up and leaves. And then they're like, well, where's Bran? And he's like,
and that's
not my
what I mean.
House.
But okay, wait a second.
Out.
He's been circling. He's been giggling like a buffoon.
And they're like, what happened to the giggling? Why didn't anyone?
All of a sudden, it's gone. What?
Yeah.
Like, where could he have gone? He couldn't be that far. But apparently he is a little farther away.
You know this. You're a mom. I'm a mom.
Oh.
Anytime it gets quiet, that's the scariest time.
It is.
Why is it quiet?
Yeah.
What's
wrong?
My other room gonna look like when I discover why it's so quiet?
Yes. Yeah. So they're trying to find Bran.
Yeah.
But who finds Bran?
Tonks.
Okay, listen. Did you ever watch The Wedding Planner?
Yes.
With Jennifer Lopez. Okay, so I had to look up because Osha is like a
She's
main
Tonks from Harry Potter.
Is she?
Yeah.
I thought that was like a term for the three of them. Tonks. I had no idea.
You didn't know why I was saying
I'm just
tonks.
like smiling and nodding.
You're like, right.
Yeah, exactly. So Osha is like a big deal because she stays for at least a little while.
Well, immediately if you're watching this, you see her and you're like, if you ever watched Harry Potter, you're like, oh, she's going to be around for a while because she's famous.
Oh, yeah. I know now.
Yeah.
I know now. I can see her in my head in Harry Potter now.
Yep.
Okay. Well, anyway,
go ahead.
She's like sticking around. But the other two characters die who come to get Bran,
immediately. Yeah.
Well, I wanted to know their names. I felt like it was important to give them a shout out. So, Wallen is one of them, and then Stiv, Stiv. Okay, so this is where Wedding Planner comes back. Do you remember?
Hi, I'm Stiv.
It was that guy who wanted to marry Jennifer Lopez, the guy who came over from wherever with them, and he played Scrabble all the time with her. His name was Stev. It was like the way he said it, and I just
don't.
I'll find it
but
for
I
you.
like it.
So
I
anyway,
really like that.
Osha,
every
Stev.
Steve I know is going by Stev.
Osha, Stev, and Wallen. They're a band of wildlings, and Rob shows up, kills Wallen.
Got it.
Then Stev takes Bran captive, and who saves the day?
Theon.
Not his house.
My boy Theon.
But he came and protected. Right? I mean, I guess I get what you're saying. Like, he has been protecting them. But again,
it's not like he had a choice to be there, you know?
Right.
Like, his dad, I mean, later on when we meet the Ironborn, they're super dumb. Like, they're really dumb.
Yeah.
They're like,
we'll
we
see.
like the sea.
Yeah. And that's all that matters.
I can't wait to talk about their ritual where they basically give you brain damage from like, we'll see.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
But it's like, that's why they're all like, they're weird. Like, they're a weird family. They're just like salty for no reason because we live near the salt.
But I don't understand, like, Theon, yes, you were given as punishment.
Yeah.
But you still are their, like, ward. Like,
I know, yeah, but he is trying. I think like what I like about I like Theon's story a lot. In this series, I really like Theon's story. He's got a really interesting arc. He has a really interesting downfall.
Sure does.
He's got probably the worst fate, I think.
Yeah, he does get it pretty bad.
I think he gets paid back way worse than he ever
Yeah.
commits. But we'll get to it.
Yeah.
And I don't think that I think that at his heart he's a good person, and and this is him saving Bran here.
Yeah.
Bran is good.
Yeah. I mean, he does it. Thank God. We have everyone's still
I feel
alive.
like if there was therapy in Westeros, he'd be fine. Like,
you think?
Yeah, I think that if he just was able to talk to a therapist,
tell them about
not feeling like he belongs.
I don't feel like I belong here.
I think that he would have some good coping strategies and wouldn't make the decisions that he does.
Yeah, probably.
Now we're at the Eyrie, correct? And Tyrion is falling asleep. I don't know how you get a good sleep in this place.
Okay.
But
I'm horrible at judging distances or sizes of things. So if I had to say how far away am I from that wall, I'd be like, well, I could probably lay down 1.5 times. So it's probably 8 feet. Mm-hmm. That's how I judge distances. So I'm just going to say this is a 10 by 10 cell. Let's just say this is a 10 foot by 10 foot cell.
Sure.
He's 2 feet tall.
Right.
How did you manage to roll? How do you sleep in a bed if you rolled the whole way to the edge of that thing?
Well, there's nothing stopping you.
I know.
I know what you're saying.
Right?
Yeah.
It just seems weird.
I don't know how you fall asleep enough to almost fall off.
Right.
You gotta have, there's wind whistling there. You don't have a blanket.
Yeah. Right.
I think you're not really getting the coziest sleep. But he almost falls.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's trying to bribe, is it Mord with gold. Mm-hmm. And he's has to teach him about object permanence because he's well, I don't have it on me.
Yeah.
I will get it to you.
But Mord's
I have it.
No, go.
And he's well, I don't see it.
Yeah.
So he has to teach him object permanence.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
we're at King's Landing.
Yes, Arya and Syrio. The wheels are turning here. She's getting, I think, one of the best lessons in Westeros. She's definitely in the best position as far as prepping goes.
Well, because of the training she's getting, yes.
Yeah.
But I also think that this lesson is super important because he's telling her you need to control your feelings.
Yeah.
If you can't control your feelings, you are gonna get killed every time.
Yeah.
And I do think that comes in handy for her.
For sure. She's I have a lot going on, Syrio, and he's that's the best time to be doing this.
Right. I don't care what's going on in your life. You need to be able to protect yourself.
I kind of wish I had a Syrio.
I love Syrio. And honestly, well, wait, we'll get to that.
Oh, yeah. And then he has one of the best lines. What do we say to the god of death?
Not today.
Oh.
I know. I love it.
Oh, fantastic.
I love Syrio. He's just a great character. He's entertaining.
Yeah,
he's fun.
Entertaining. He's kind of a little cutie pie in my opinion.
I agree. I love him. I love him.
Let's put our hair behind our ears.
For Syrio?
You guys can't see it, but we're doing it.
Maybe we'll do it, Okay. So, quick scene, that's literally it.
Yes.
Quick scene. Now we're back in Dothrak.
I love this. It opens up. Dany has blood dripping down her hands. Dany is eating a raw stallion heart.
Disgusting.
Pregnant.
You can
in
see
front of
the
everyone.
aorta still
Yes.
Ugh.
It's disgusting. It's so gross. She's got to be in pain, but this looks so cool.
No, I think it's so disgusting. Now,
it's disgusting, but I feel like she looks so cool here.
I mean,
I don't want to do it.
You
I
don't
would literally
me.
not be able to do it. I would not be able to do it.
Nor I. I watch videos of people dumping packs of chicken in their crock pot right out of the packaging, and I'm you didn't mutilate that thing to cut off every piece of anything that shouldn't be on there?
So you and I are of the same mind when it comes to chicken, because I can't, and Pappy Bruce is giving us a nod too. He does not like any weird stuff in his chicken. I feel I want to give a little background with Pappy Bruce. Pappy Bruce doesn't like how things sound when you stir it. So he won't eat certain things that have a certain sound.
Okay.
When you stir it.
That's fair.
Yeah, he says saying potato salad.
Really?
He won't eat potato salad. Look, he's almost gagging over there.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Was so gross. Like I watched those Fear Factor shows where they eat weird stuff. I would never be able to do. I would never be able to eat a raw stallion heart.
Yeah.
So, but I got a little trivia. For everybody here.
Okay.
So that giant heart was a giant gummy bear. So in real life, Amelia Clark was eating a giant gummy bear, and they made all of the like veins and tendrils and stuff out of pasta. So like they would like. Isn't that gross?
That is
it's still gross.
It's very gross. And like honestly, I can't remember. It was a movie where the guy was eating raw chicken breast. And that what they used was like pear slices, like they froze pear slices, and then it was, it looked the same. Still, if I know that what I'm doing, quote unquote, is eating a horse heart, I don't care if that's the most delicious, like gummy bear in the world. I still would be like, ugh.
Oh, I mean, it turned my stomach watching her do this.
Yeah.
That's how to me realistic it looked.
Speaking
now,
of what?
I hope everyone's hungry after all of that conversation.
Oh, yes.
Because we've got to the cheese of the sode. And what is it this week, Lisa?
Oh, it's a cheddar and port wine.
Yeah. Pub cheese spread.
It's pub cheese spread. And it's basically, because Danny was covered in blood, we wanted something similar to that for us, but we didn't want to be covered in blood, so we went with a port cheese. I feel like
we went for a port wine.
Yeah, I feel like that's a fair.
Yeah,
we're gonna go with some pita chips.
So we're gonna use it. Yeah, pita chips. So I feel like we're gonna have some
breakage,
some food ASMR.
Oh yes. Okay, everyone, just plug your ears if you don't want to hear us eating.
I mean, I really like pub cheese. I like the port wine mix.
It's like a cheese ball.
Yeah.
Those pita chips are banging, man.
Right? Should we give a shout out to them?
We should.
They're from Martin's.
Mano's authentic pita chips.
Mediterranean. Real pita. Exceptional flavor.
Thanks for sponsoring us today. Yeah, that's good. I like that a lot. I feel like that's good.
I would way rather have this.
Than what?
Than a stallion heart.
Of course. You know what's even more disturbing about that whole thing? Is Danny and Khal Drogo are staring at each other. And it's like they're turning each other on with this. Like, it is so weird. And he's like, he puts his head down. He's like, oh. Like, ew.
Go on.
Right?
Get it.
Well, and then, of course,
this.
so she does finish.
I'm going to eat one more bite.
I'm fairly certain that so at her wedding, we've got brawls and snakes. Now, it's pregnancy ritual. She's eating a horse heart.
Yeah.
I could not be Dothraki.
No.
I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I would not survive.
No.
I'd just lay down and die is what I would do.
I think maybe that's part of it. That's why we know that she's got a lot of chutzpah.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for saying that.
She's awesome.
Yeah. And so
Viserys,
yeah,
she's so awesome. In fact, that he's nervous. He's like, why is everybody cheering? People like her a little too much. I'm not really comfortable with how much they like her. He leaves to go and try to steal the eggs. Mm-hmm. And Jorah's like, I'm not going to let you do that, my friend.
We go back to that. So, don't we go? Isn't that later? Yeah, he stomps out of the tent. Later in the show, we get to where he's stealing the eggs.
Oh, okay.
But right here, he's just like, what are they saying? And Jorah's like, the stallion that mounts the world, blah, blah, blah. Right. This is the whatever. And so Viserys just storms out.
Okay.
No one realizes whatever.
Okay.
But we come back to him. Let's go back to the Vale.
Okay. We jump back and forth a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're at the Vale. What happens?
So Tyrion yells for Mord again. And he's like, listen, do you know a Lannister always pays their debt? Or, he convinces Mord to go relay a message. So Tyrion says, I will give you gold if you go tell the Lady of the Vale that I wish to confess my crimes.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. So, we get, so now everyone's gathered. Tyrion starts confessing the most ridiculous
Well, he does
things.
that thing that, is it Chunk does on the Goonies where he's like, I'm ready to tell everybody what I did. When I was a kid, I brought some stuff to a movie theater and I pretended to throw up over everybody. That's what he does. Have you ever seen the Goonies?
I have, but I don't really like it. So, nothing really sticks with me.
Well, he does the Goonies thing.
Okay.
I think it's, Chunk does.
He
goes and he's like, I'm confessing to all this other stuff, but not this thing.
I loved when he, it's probably a little inappropriate, but just plug your ears if you don't want to hear it. So the one thing that he says is he milked his eel into the pot of turtle stew. He flogged the one-eyed snake. He skinned his sausage, and everyone just starts chuckling because they realize that he's just being fun. He's just being funny.
Yeah. And then they're like, you made a mockery of this court.
Yeah. Okay. Well, he can't confess to something he didn't do. What are you going to do?
Right.
What are you going to do? So he decides he wants a trial by combat.
Yes. So this is the first time that Tyrion requests a trial by combat. And he always does it in a really dramatic way. Mm-hmm. He's always like, I request a trial by combat. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it's his right.
Yes, in Westeros, it's a big deal to request that.
Yeah.
So he does that, and his champion is Bronn. Mm-hmm. And everybody's like, well, what's the big deal with this guy? And Bronn ends up wiping the floor with
whoever the other champion was. I forget what
tough.
She says.
It's tough to watch, because he's like, everyone's like, don't.
Well, and then he throws dude through the moon door, and Lysa says, you don't fight with honor. And Bronn's like, well, he did.
Right.
And
yeah.
I feel like that's important because it's being honorable doesn't necessarily get you anywhere.
Not in this world.
No. So great that he fought with honor. Great that I didn't. It was a trial by combat.
And then he's like, all right, well, I'm going to head out. See you guys later. Uh-huh. And then he actually does give Mord the gold, which is, I think it's a way to show us that Tyrion isn't just a smarmy little guy. He actually does, he does that.
Yeah. I fully respect Tyrion. In this whole show, he is so different from Cersei, Jaime, and Tywin. He is a good guy.
He's got a strategic mind.
Well, he's incredibly smart. Incredibly smart. But he's just way more likable.
Oh, yeah.
He's not evil.
He's one step ahead of everybody.
But he's not out for himself like everyone else. He's I
think that he has a layer where he's out to survive. But but he does hold himself to standards.
Yes. And I love that about him. So I love Tyrion. Tyrion's leaving.
Yes.
So now we're on the hunt. And, Renly gets mad because Bobby B's talking about the good old days. And Renly's like, what good old days? When you slept with all the women. Basically
we
saying.
used to call it making the 7.
Oh, yeah. Making the 8.
Making the 8.
Because it was the 7 Westeros ladies and then someone else.
Making the 8.
Yeah. And obviously Renly's uncomfortable because Renly's gay. And I don't think Bobby B knows that. But I do think that Renly has a good point in the fact that you're just talking about the fact where you usurped a throne, where you just raped all these women. What is honorable about those days? And so Renly storms off. He's mad. Yeah.
So he's gone.
Yeah.
And
they just
where is Bobby B?
They continue to walk. And
they continue to walk.
And that's the only clip we get right now.
He's drinking wine, right?
Yeah, Lancel keeps giving him wine.
That's interesting. I wonder why Lancel's so keen to give him so much wine.
We'll cover that a little bit later.
Yeah, I was just wondering.
But now we're back at King's Landing.
Yes.
Where Ned is King Regent or whatever.
Yes.
While Bobby's hunting.
like really silly.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
He's still sweaty.
Very sweaty, yes.
And then so Sansa's like being still kind of a brat. But she's got like this awesome septa. I wish I had a septa.
I know.
I wish I had that and a Sirio.
So she, like, Sansa, Septa is trying to talk to her about different things and, like, how she's wearing her hair, how her mother would feel about this. And Sansa's like, do you even have any hair? And Septa's like, yes. And would you like to see it? And she was like, no. Oh, I don't actually care. Like,
yeah, I know. She's being a brat.
Yeah.
You got somebody in your corner here, and you've got very little people in your corner here.
Right.
Joffrey comes in and gives her a necklace, and he's like, I'm going to be nice from now on. I'm so sorry for treating you that way. And you immediately are like,
that's not true.
You're immediately like, don't
Liar.
trust it. But she's like, oh my God.
Yeah. And they kiss. They
Yeah.
share a sweet kiss. I'll never be cruel to you. I'll never disrespect you.
You liar.
He's such a liar. Oh my God.
And then we're back to, so we're back to Theon saying, so we're back at Winterfell. Roz is leaving for King's Landing. And she's like, says bye to Theon. And Theon's like, I don't care that you're leaving. And then he's like, actually, I do. I do care.
I mean, he loves her.
And then he's like, I'll miss you.
Show me one more time.
He's like, yeah.
But she is smart.
Yeah.
He's like, why are you going to King's Landing? Because there's a war coming and all the men are going to be gone from here. So what am I supposed to do? I'm going where there are men.
And I love Roz, but I do worry for her here.
Yeah.
I worry about it. I think she's smart though. I don't think that she necessarily does anything wrong, but I think the world is a vicious one. I hope things work out for her.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yes.
We'll see what comes up. So now we're back at Dothrak.
And this is so cool. Yes.
No, I lied. First we're at King's Landing. And Ned wants the girls to go back to Winterfell.
Okay.
Yes. And Arya's upset because she's finally getting good with her lessons. Sansa acts like it's the end of the world because she loves Joffrey. She's to be his queen and have his babies.
Right.
And Arya's like hilarious. She just like rolls her eyes and she's like, 7 hells. Like, this is all that matters to you.
Yeah.
Let's bring Sirio back with us, which would be amazing. I would love that.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden we have to, I love him. I want to be with him. I'm going to make him kids with golden hair.
Right. So that's our... So just remember, guys. The episode is called A Golden Crown. There's going to be a couple meanings to that.
Golden hair.
Golden hair.
Okay, so now... Okay. This is like... Finally, everything's starting to click for Ned.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I mean, obviously it's easier for us to make the connection because we aren't stupid and we see all the players in the game.
Yeah.
He's only aware of whatever. But like, seriously, you visited 2 bastard children, both with black hair. Both of them.
Yeah.
And now you're like, oh, wait. Now I'm going to go look at the book that lists every child and their hair color. And now he realizes that the Baratheons, all of them, every Baratheon is black of hair.
Yes.
Except
the seed is strong.
The seed is strong. Except
for all of those kiddos.
Yes.
Yeah.
With Cersei. So like, what will Ned do with this information?
Well, he kind of does that thing where, a character is like reading and then they kind of look up and they're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like, it's done
realization.
So many things. Yeah. Yeah.
But again, tell somebody. Like, what are you doing?
Tell someone that's not gonna. Tell
right,
somebody.
Right.
But maybe be strategic about who you tell.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
So now we're in Dothrak.
Yes.
Best scene of the whole show.
I think it's great. So Jorah stops Viserys from taking the eggs. Mm-hmm. And then so he's like, all right, whatever, I don't care. But I am gonna come and cause a scene here with you guys like celebrating and stuff. So they're having like a they're having this other like celebration.
Yep.
He comes in, he's like, you promised me a crown. You are not holding up your end of the bargain. Not realizing that he's not a player anymore.
He is not. But
Dany is.
Yeah. And he's like, fine, you paid for you were supposed to pay for my sister with an army and my crown. And I haven't gotten. Yeah, I'm taking her, I'll cut the baby out and leave it. And you're like, dude, what a monster.
You are really stupid.
Well, 100%.
You're horrible and you're stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's exchanging looks.
Yeah.
Everyone kind of knows what's going to happen.
Yes, they do.
They grab Viserys and hold him, and they start to put gold stuff in a kettle and then melt it. And then, oh my God. Yeah, I remember when this aired, and I was like, jaw was on the floor. This is so fun. I just touched Lisa's foot.
Thank you.
With
It
my
was
foot.
sweet. It was sweet.
So he walks over, Khal Drogo walks over to him and he's like, crown for a king. Dumps
Right
the
over
gold over his head and it like sizzles.
Oh my God. He
And
screams
he's like,
for,
"Bah!"
yep. And then that's it. And then his head smashes on the ground. It's like, don't.
Falls with a thud. He was no dragon.
That's what Dany says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cut to black.
No?
Yeah.
Yes. Cut to black. Oh my gosh, that's the end of the episode already.
Yes.
How did we get there so quickly? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, but I love, because like Jorah's like, Khaleesi, don't watch. And she's like, no, I'm going to watch him.
I'm gonna watch.
I mean, she's been abused by this guy for years.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'd watch it too.
Yeah.
I was like,
I think
that's
she's
the best.
just a different person now. Like she's drinking the horse milk.
Yeah, she is. I mean, I'd say Kool-Aid, but
Right.
I don't think there's.
Definitely not. No, none of that.
Well, I guess there would have to be horse milk because they have
No, that's
babies.
what I think. That's what she says. I think isn't that what they're? She's like, I'm thirsty, and they're like, here's some
Horse milk.
Horse milk.
Here's some meat parts.
Here's some
I
meat
don't
parts,
know.
horse milk, and flies.
I don't know. Interesting.
But
okay.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
so
what
now
she's a part of them, and she's like, I'm all right with this. Yeah, it's cool. This is a fun episode. This is a lot happens. All the players gonna play.
Yeah.
Haters gonna hate.
Yeah. Don't hate the player.
Don't
hate the game.
Hate the game.
Yeah.
Of Thrones.
Yeah. So
That's
okay.
it, guys.
Yeah. Join us next week for episode 7, if you can believe it.
Yes.
And don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay. Bye.
Bye.